Are you ready? So I was saying good morning, all that crap as well, or going for it, go for it. Sweet. In power, go on. Sweet. Okay, so take a look at practice outdoors. I've chosen hill walking, as you can see, on the right of the screen, and climbing, as you can see, on the left of the screen. And we'll just go next slide. Okay, so this is just basic academic resources to back up. So my part I put in is just this very brief paragraph here. Safe work and practice refers to following set guidelines set to ensure whatever is happening in the safe way as possible. And then I've got some references here. This one is from ALS, actually Adventure Activity Licensing. So again, that just reiterates it, what safe practicing is. And then the next one, I believe, is from Safe Work and Practice Procedures. That's from, I cannot recall, but it's on my reference list, so I can tell you now at some stage. I think it is from the HSC website. So again, just reiterating what safe practice is, but it's being more specific to knowing what the hazards are. So for example, if you are out doing a hill walk, you'd have to know what hazards are due to the terrain, the weather conditions, maybe even the dynamic of the group. Move on to the next. Okay, so this is pretty much what we're applying to the activities today. So hill walking, and I've chosen specifically to focus on hills and moorland terrain. So obviously that would be within their person's remit. Get more into that in a minute. And then rock climbing again, specifically indoors. Again, that will be involved with somebody's remit or qualification. Okay, so hill and moorland. So what is required for hill and moorland? Some of these are what I think are appropriate, and then some of them are what's appropriate according to mountain leader awards as such. So your insurance, first aid, yourself, so standard operating procedures, so knowing what's going to happen on that day. So for example, it would be a case of meet a set location, get in the minibus, start talking to the people about where you're going, what the weather's going to be like, and then you have the journey there. You'll then arrive at the set location, and then in a case of debriefing the group again, but more in detail using the map and maybe showing a route, or maybe just identifying who's going to lead in what order. And then that's as far as I think as much you can work out. And then the wonderful question is, should you be qualified or experienced? Now, for best work in practice, it would be qualified as well as experienced. But just to throw a span on the works, it would depend on where you were working. So if I was to go independent, I would have to be qualified. If I was to go and work in an adventure, for example, like PGL, and work with those type of companies, I could have in-house training. That will not qualify as a qualification, however, but it would follow their remit or how mountain leader might want you to set it up, if that makes sense. Okay, so moving on to the risk assessment. So 3 types: generic, specific, and dynamic. So generic one is, for example, would be, we've got one in this room, so I'll be a generic one to this room. The specific one will be for building. Other way around. Oh, okay. So yeah, specific for this room, general will be for the whole entire building. If a dynamic, let's say you're bringing in 112 primary school kids to do reading in the library, you'd have to do a risk assessment on that, as an example. And for outdoors, a dynamic one would be you're at your location, and then all of a sudden it's thunder and lightning, it's blowing a proper nice big gale, and you're with a bunch of people who've never done it before, and you're like, oh, okay, I need to dumb this down a bit, go easy, change a different route if you're ready for your pre-picked one in your head, and just basically just think on your feet. That's why it's called dynamic, it's forever changing. And organised, I follow it organised, have your stuff together, so know where you're going, when you're going, idea of the weather, have your kit what's appropriate, and then also maybe some spare kit, because you might come across some numpty in the group who's forgot the waterproof clothing where it's going to be absolutely bouncing it down. And that brings on us to appropriately dressed. So when you're at rock with a Converse, pair of Converse for a hill walk, you'd have approach shoes or hill walking shoes, and then you might have waterproof ones depending on what the weather's doing. Again, appropriately dressed, you'd have waterproof coat maybe, if it's like today, definitely would. Sensible bag, fit all your equipment in, you'd have your lunch, you'd have pretty much everything you need for your business and dressed. Soft skills. So you might agree with this, you might not. I don't care how qualified you are or how experienced you are. If you can't sit there and have a conversation with a group of people you're working with, then what's the point of you being there? You need to have very good soft skills, especially within this industry, I think, because it's very people focused, isn't it? So the last one, staying in your remit. So what this refers to is, for example, hill and moorland. That's a big clue. You have to operate within hill and moorland areas, whether that's in Wales, up in the Lake District, Scotland, Ireland, or even in Europe you would operate in hill and moorland areas. So I actually tried to look at this in more detail. Will there be a set height you work in, or elevation? So that would be, I didn't quite find it, but
it normally is. It might have changed.
Yeah. It's like you
change the wording every now and again.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you'd have to work within one specific area, like you couldn't go over a set height.
Normally has to be a certain distance away from the road.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Or time away from the road.
Okay, and I'm not going to bother reading that. I will let you read it. Just let me know when you're done. That's from the Mountain Leader book, the nice red one. Got a lovely reference in there. That should come up at the end of it if it's done correctly. Okay, so rock climbing is specifically for indoors. So again, you want your insurance, your first aid, sensible procedures. Oh, and also EOPs, so emergency operating procedures. So for example, if you have, I should have used this for the rock climbing in the hill walking as well. I'll just look at the rock climbing, just remembered it. So let's say you have a wall and somebody by chance.
You can say hill walking if that's an easier example. I'm more than happy.
Okay, I'll do one for both. I'll try and figure out what kind of one to go. So hill walking, let's say for example, doing a nice hill walk, going down a sharp incline. One individual loses their footing, they go over, break their arm. Now, in my mind, this might not be right, but I think you've got two options. You can either go straight away, full-on emergency procedures, contact mountain rescue, and have them come and assist you, or because of the injury, you could possibly take the chance, bandage it up, support it, and then simply just go back to your starting point and get them home, or to the nearest hospital, depending on what you think was appropriate to the situation and how far away you are to the road or starting area. So for example, if you were 27 miles away from your starting area, you might think, okay, that's a bit stupid, bring them in. So then if you're operating on your own, you might have to delegate some things to people to do. But if you're working on your own, working with another team member, for example, Mark and yourself, it'll be a case of you might get missed the first aid, while Matt just gets the people away from the area, deals with them, and discuss what's happening, and then make appropriate calls to mountain rescue. So that would be your operating procedures for your hill day. And for rock climbing, again, let's say someone's belaying and they drop somebody, some pairs and hits the floor quite hard, and they broke a leg. Bones sticking out, full on double break, proper gnarly. It'll be, oh dear, someone's going to get sued. It's not you, because you covered yourself, it's during the idiot belaying, possibly. So then, with that, it'll be straight away ambulance, wrap the wound up, stop the bleeding, try and calm them, get everyone else out the area. That would be what I do. So rock climbing, got to qualified. So with it being a rock climbing leaders award, or not rock climbing leader, you need a CWA, so your rock climbing award. There's two. There's one where you're not lead. There's two classifications. There's one where you're not leading, one where you're not qualified to lead, and then there's one where you are qualified to lead. So what that refers to is lead climbing. So you're going up, clipping in as you go to the top. So that will be within their remit. So I think to work at most rock climbing walls, they do want you to have the rock climbing lead award. So some of the lead is very important. Risk assessments, we discussed your ratios. So this may depend on, again, if you're working on your own or as a pair or even in a group. So for example, if it's on your own, ideally you want it to be it's really different for rock climbing. You'd want it between 1 and 7 months, as an example 8. If it was more than 8, so for example it was 16, ideally you want 2 people. But if you're working on your own, it might come down to a case where you have to delegate possible certain duties to maybe more senior staff or senior people on the walk with you.
Who's going to set the ratios?
For governing bodies, but yeah, the governing bodies would. And again, that would depend on if we're independent or we're in a pair, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So each instructor will only have a certain number of people that they can work with.
Yeah. Okay.
When's that ratio going to change? When might it decrease?
When you get less people in the group, or depending on their age.
If I take 10 5-year-olds out on the hill for the day, we're just going to go out hill walking today. I could also take 10 20-year-olds, 10 80-year-olds, 10 50-year-olds. Could change on them. When else might it change?
Would it change depending on what you were doing or when you were doing it?
Yes.
So let's say for example, the group you're doing indoor rock climbing was advancing really quickly, you might try to get an outdoor climbing, you'd have to be qualified to make sure you're covered, that's best practice. You'd also have to make sure you have somebody with you, because as an example, say for example you split the group up to half up top, you'd half down and you're focusing on this group climbing and this group abseiling down, you'd need 2 people, possibly a third there, so one person there, one person standing back, not doing both, just to ensure.
So yeah, well my ratios would be the same if I was running a session on the docks as it would be if I was running on a session on big whitewater rapids.
No, for white, I'd say there's a lot more risk involved, or perceived risk, with whitewater rapids, so ideally, best practice, you would want somebody with you.
There's only me though, I can only do it. If I take a group out flat water,
yeah.
Well, I want more or less people when I take them out on moving water.
You want less people because moving. So
and who'll tell me that?
Governing body, and plus it would be the remit as well.
Exactly.
Ratio, privilege, dress, soft skills, staying in the remit. Again, lovely, wonderful little thing from. That was the rock climbing. That was the red book. Hill and wall and the book. So, any questions so far? Just the one. Wonderful little references. I think the crap.
Cool. Again, these look format on some of them. Some of them are bomber, some of them are a bit more.
Yeah, some of them are aerial and some of them are Calibri. Calibri, is it?
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Standard operating procedures then, what are they? Go on, tell me a bit more about.
So standard operating procedures, they'll be your guidelines for what you do on that day. You'll have a set order.
Yeah, and who'll set them for you?
Depends.
Okay, so I'm going to work for an outdoor centre.
Outdoor centre will do that for you.
Okay.
If you're going to be independent,
And whose responsibility is it to make sure that
at the outdoor centre, or in general?
Whose responsibility is it to make sure that I've read them? So I go in as an instructor to work for Crosby Lakeside. They'll provide me with a copy of their standard operating procedures. How are they going to know that I've read them or if I haven't read them?
Possibly 2 ways. They could sit down and have a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually 3 ways. Conversation with you, test you on your knowledge of it. And the third one would be have you lead one session and they step back and watch you. Obviously the risk of doing that is you might get something very wrong and actually potentially cause some great deal of harm. So I figured they'd probably stick to the 2 lesser hazardous ones.
Potentially it'll vary from centre to centre.
Yes, as well. And so who would be in charge of that would be, if it was water-based, it would be be head of water activities, and it was land-based to be the head of.
Yeah, or it might be the chief instructor of all.
Yeah.
Superb. Cool. Good work, mate.